Hey guys, today we're going to look at section 3.2, which is on the product rule and the quotient rule. So first up, let's look at this. So far we've seen that if you have a constant and a function f of x, if you have the constant times f of x, then you can take the derivative of that by just keeping the constant out front and taking the derivative of f and get c times f prime of x. But that doesn't work if what you're multiplying it by is not a constant. So the question is, what happens if we multiply by f of x by something that's not a constant? And in that case, what we have to do is use the product rule. So here's the product rule. It states that the derivative of g of x times f of x is g of x times f prime of x plus f of x times g prime of x. The way that I memorize this, though, is I say it's first times derivative of the second plus second times derivative of the first. And that's what's going on up here. G is the first, and f is the second. And over here we've got the first times derivative of the second, plus the second times derivative of the first. And I pretty much say that to myself every time I use the product rule. I say first times derivative of the second, plus second times derivative of the first. So let's do some examples. Let's look at this one. Derivative of f of x equals x cubed e to the x. All right, in this case, x cubed is my first, and e to the x is my second. So f prime of x is first times derivative of the second plus the second times the derivative of the first. I'm probably not going to write it out like that every single time. I'm probably just going to jump straight to writing out x cubed times derivative of e to the x is e to the x, then e to the x times 3x squared. Now on this one, I can factor some stuff out. I can factor out x squared and e to the x, and then what's left over here, there's an x left over, and over here there's a 3 left over. So that's my derivative. All right, let's do another one. Find the derivative of f of x equals this. All right, we've got a couple of options here. On this one, we could just multiply this out and then take the derivative of that. But let's use the product rule on it. The product rule, whether we use the product rule or not, wouldn't matter. Either way, it'll give us the same answer. So f prime of x is going to be the first times derivative of the second. So it's going to be 2x plus 3 plus the second times the derivative of the first. Derivative of the first function here is just 2. And I guess maybe I should, let's multiply this out and combine like terms. When we do this, I'm going to get, let's see, that's going to give me 4x squared. Outside gives me 6x. Inside gives me 10x. And last gives me 15. Plus 2x squared plus 6x plus 8. And let's see, if I combine terms, I get 6x squared plus, let's see, 12x. Oh, wait, not 12x. Because I've got 6x, 6x, and 10x, so that's going to be plus 22x. And then 15 and 8 is 23. So we get this for our answer. And it makes pretty good sense. If you look at it, the original thing up here was a cubic function. If we multiplied all that out, and then the derivative here is a quadratic. All right, I'm getting help today from one of my cats here. So, let's see. All right, okay, here's a problem. Find the slope of the tangent line at the point with the x-coordinate of -2. All right, so for this thing, we've got first, let's see, g prime of x. It's going to be, we've got x cubed is first, e to the x is second. So first times derivative of the second plus second times derivative of the first. All right, I'm not going to factor it this time because all it's really asking us to do is find the slope of the tangent line. So we want to do g prime of -2. So that's -2 cubed e to the -2 plus e to the -2 times 3 times -2 squared. So this is minus 8e -2 minus, let's see, put this together, this gives me 4 times 3 is 12. So it's actually plus 12e to the -2. So 12 minus 8 is 4e to the -2. And you could write it either as that or as 4 over e squared. Let's look at this example. On this one, it doesn't tell us everything about f of x. It says f of x is x squared times g of x, but they don't tell us what g of x is. But they tell us the information we need to know. Evaluate f prime of 3. All right, so f prime of x is going to be first times derivative of the second. The second is g of x. It's just going to be g prime of x plus the second times the derivative of the first. First is x squared, so it's going to be 2x. So if I do f prime of 3, that gives me 3 squared times g prime of 3 plus g of 3 times 2 times 3. So this could be 9. G prime of 3 is -1 from up here. And then g of 3 is 4. That's multiplied by 6. So this is -9 plus 24, which would be 15.